This is Literature in Pictures, and you did not see this coming, did you? Another bonus interlude here in my read through the Modern Marvel Cosmic Saga by DNA, but this part is technically not part of Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning's Cosmic Saga event. It is more a precursor. And why am I doing this? Interlude should be clear in a second, because as I was reading through the whole Kree War thing, I realized I'm missing some basic information and a book that I wish I had read prior to going into the whole event. And many references are made to the Kree-Skrull War, the original one, or the only one, in the pages of Avengers 89 through 97 by Roy Thomas, Neil Adams, and Sal Buscema. That was the book I was missing throughout the entire time. Long story short, this is a book I'm reviewing, and with that, really it being the final part of my read-through, my first time read-through of the Modern Cosmic Saga, including many of those events. Again, we had another bonus interlude looking at Secret Invasion over here just a few weeks ago, but now rounding things up with the book that should have started it all, the Kree-Skrull War in the pages of Avengers. Let's head over to the table and get started. Annihilation Classic. Annihilation. Annihilation Conquest. Road to War of Kings. War of Kings. Realm of Kings. The Aftermath. This is the second printing from 2001, printed in Canada. It retailed for $19.99 US when it was first released 24 years ago. The story is from the early 1970s, specifically the Avengers issues 89 through 97, released between June 1971 and March 1972, written by Roy Thomas. And that's almost 54 years ago, and one can tell its age by the sexist undertone throughout most issues, whether it's belittling Wanda the Wasp or Carol Danvers. The Avengers in here are the Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, the Vision, and Goliath. This is also the first time that Wanda and the Vision started flirting, and it is implied that they are having feelings for each other. The Vision, for example, acts against his better knowledge as he develops feelings for Wanda, and the other Avengers notice that as well. He acts irrationally when it comes to rescuing the hostages. With this being called the Kree-Skrull War, the actual space battle doesn't really start until the last two chapters, but it provides a better understanding of the Kree, Ronin, and the Intelligence Supreme, as well as the Skrull and their plans, the Super Skrull, and also briefly Annihilus. So it does help understanding the Cosmic Saga a little bit better. This really kicking off the Cosmic Saga, if you ignore the first appearances of the Skrulls and the Kree. But overall, it's a little bit less war than what I would have expected, and more inner circle schemings and random invasions that we can get to here in a little bit. With regards to the story arcs, there are 3 thematic mini arcs that make up the Kree-Skrull War. Chapters 1 through 3, or Avengers 89 through 91, is where Ronan attacks Earth, wanting to develop humans back to Amerbia. In the middle of the fight here, he's called back to Kree space as the Skrulls are attacking them. We have the 3-issue arc in chapters 4 through 6, Avengers 92 through 94. Kree and Skrulls attack in waves now. It is now the Skrulls' turn to unleash their attack on Earth. The final arc, we have chapter 7 through 9, Avengers 95 through 97, where the Inhumans are now introduced to the story and they are asking the Avengers for help. Together they fight back the Kree that had used Maximus to wrestle power from Black Bolt. Through a weird turn of events, Kree and Skrull freeze into statues and the humans win. Yay. But it is a little bit of a cringy ending here, as well as not a full-fledged war and more of a, hey, those other species are invading Earth turn by turn. I was a little bit disappointed by the term Kree-Skrull War when it wasn't really a war and just 2 different attempts to infiltrate Earth and kind of silently attack humans from within. And that's at a high level. I'll now go into every single issue, every single chapter. So if you want to follow me on that path, go ahead. We'll do a deep dive now. So we're starting things off with chapter 1. But chapter 1 is by no means the beginning of the Avengers story here, as this is Avengers issue 89. And one can tell because it is kind of confusing getting into this story without having read the previous 88 issues, I guess, or at least a few issues prior to that, because it's not fully clear who's an Avenger at this point and why Marvel is on Earth and what the whole deal is here. But it takes a few issues to get into it. But yeah, here in chapter 1, we have Marvel on Earth. We see Annihilus trying to escape the negative zone. Annihilus' role himself is kind of weird and limited. He shows up in like 2 issues and has no major impact on the plot whatsoever. But he's introduced, so I guess it counts as character building towards the Modern Cosmic Saga, even though that was never the intent here, because that was way before, again, the stuff that DNA did in the Modern Cosmic Saga. But we have Annihilus in the story here as well. Again, not a big role. But we have Ronan the Accuser as well, who is now free in front of the Intelligence Supreme, trying to launch an attack on Marvel using a Kree sentry. In chapter 2, the Avengers, Wanda, Quicksilver, Visions find Ronan the Accuser at the North Pole. A jungle is growing there. His plan is to destroy mankind. And that plan is now revealed, Plan Atavus. Why does he do that? Well, because humans have developed too fast, from the steam to the nuclear age, and are threatening the Kree of the future. Ronan started resetting Earth back to the Stone Age, expanding his circle from Alaska. In chapter 3, we have a sentry that's capturing Wonder, Vision, and Goliath. Ronan has Marvel on his side captured, and Quicksilver and Rick come to the rescue. But in the middle of the fight, Ronan is warned that the Skrull are attacking Kree space, and so Ronan suddenly left to help at home. There are hints at Wonder and Vision being in love here. They start flirting. So it's really the first time we're seeing this in comics, I believe, that Wonder and Vision showing feelings for each other. And we jump to the second mini arc here, chapter 4. Chapter 4 has the Kree attacking Earth being widely acknowledged now in newspapers. Humans have to act because the news is out. They have to do something. There is an investigation that follows, and the military or government interfering or playing its part. That will later be revealed. Also, Skrull scheming, but more about that later. And we have Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man declaring the Avengers disbanded because they don't know yet that this is a Skrull scheme. So they come in and say basically, what the heck, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? You're amateurs, don't do this. And another twist in chapter 5 with it being revealed that Thor, Cap, and Iron Man are actually also Skrulls here, and the real ones had no clue about the other versions of them in Skrull form disbanding the Avengers. So it's a Skrull infiltrating the government and then Skrulls impersonating former Avengers that cause all of this mess. But it is official now. The public knows that the Avengers have been disbanded. The real ones, though, the real Thor, Cap, and Iron Man, they do come to aid Vision as he tries to free the others from the grasp of the Skrulls. Overall, this issue functions for the Avengers to realize that the Skrulls are on Earth. They are back. Chapter 6 has the Super Skrull threatening to kill Wanda and Pietro if Marvel doesn't tell him the secrets of the Omniwave. Marvel commits to, yes, I'll tell you the secrets, and starts working on that. Whether that comes to fruition or not, we'll see later. But that's basically how he buys some time here. While on Earth, the Avengers fight the government of Earth, or what they believe the government is, because again, later it is revealed that that's also the Skrulls. That concludes the second arc. In the third arc, in chapter 7, we have the Inhumans. Triton of the Inhumans reaches the Avengers to tell them of Maximus' treason to topple Black Bolt, aided by the Kree. Black Bolt is rescued, he regains his power from Maximus, and the Kree flee but take Rick Jones hostage. Chapter 8, the Avengers travel to the Andromeda galaxy to rescue Wanda and Pietro. Vision is in love with Wanda. I think that becomes very clear at this point. And we have the Avengers that face the Skrull fleet in space trying to free Wanda, Pietro, and Marvel. Marvel got free and started fighting the Skrulls. Meanwhile, on Hala, the intelligence supreme of the Kree reveals to Rick Jones that it had planned all of it for it to wrestle back the power from Ronan. It sends Rick to the negative zone where he's welcomed by Annihilus. But again, as mentioned earlier, Annihilus' appearance here is rather inconsequential. Chapter 9, the final chapter, we have Rick returning from the negative zone, so I don't know why he was there in the first place. Did nothing to the plot, so no idea what the purpose was of him going there in the first place. But then back on Earth, Rick is manifesting Golden Age superheroes like Namor, Captain America, the Human Torch out of nowhere, and only for a limited time to buy time for the Avengers to show up. Then suddenly the Skrulls and Kree are freezing in their current state and are turning into statues of some sort for some reason. I guess in the story it is explained that the Intelligence Supreme is behind that and giving Rick those powers, but to me that doesn't make too much sense. But okay, let's go with that. So the Intelligence Supreme is ruling once again over the Kree. Ronan is now frozen. Marvel sacrifices himself for Rick to live. Overall, a very weird ending to a rather disappointing story in my mind. I know this is the early 70s, but I expected a little bit more out of those things. Many things were left unexplained and assume that the reader just eats what is presented here. Again, the ending kind of weird turn of events here that suspend my make-believe. But that's it for the Kree-Skrull War. It was a little bit tricky to get into it without having read any of the previous Avengers stories, issues prior to it. The writing was a little bit clunky, the dialogue super outdated, but we learn more about the Kree and the Skrull. I wish we had seen more of an intergalactic war instead of it mostly being based on kidnapping and rescuing. But that's what this is, just a kidnapping hostage story. The Kree and the Skrulls are taking turn invading Earth and taking hostages left and right. But overall, again, this is a preamble, the introduction to Krees and Skrulls past their actual first appearances and the first conflict that they have with each other really in comics. A story from the early 70s. It's good to read. I wish I had read this prior to going into the Modern Cosmic Saga by DNA, but I didn't. I read this now. And so this is the epilogue, the final episode of my series here that has expanded now for over 3 months, I believe. I lost count of how many episodes have been out there with all the interludes and now this epilogue. But it was so much fun thinking of what I'll do next. I have some ideas what I want to do next as for a series. If you're interested in this kind of stuff about whatever topic is gonna come, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, go back and watch the previous episodes that are covering all of the Modern Marvel Cosmic Saga by DNA and more. Some fun interludes in there as well. I'll have a playlist ready here for all that content to be in one place. So the Avengers, the Kree-Skrull War, really setting things off, but not being written by DNA, obviously written by Roy Thomas, and being somewhat of a necessary read here going into the series, even though I didn't do that. But I hope you enjoyed all of that content. I know some of those videos might have been a little bit long, going a little bit too much into details, but I figured if you're interested in I guess 3 months long series, you're probably interested in longer videos and me talking more about those stories as well. So this is the kind of content that's coming out here. Again, I'll work on the next series. In between that, there will be one of videos. Obviously, there's the movie club. There will be one of reviews about comic books before eventually we'll have a similar series, a longer standing weekly series over a month or a couple of months, kicking off at some point in the future. I want to say thank you again for watching this. This was a long journey with so many books. They are filling the shelf space behind me for the whole width of a calyx square. But thank you so much for watching. It's been a ton of fun. This was Literature and Pictures, and I'm out. Thank you.